CertPunch practice round for ethical hacking v13, 312-50, 21 questions. Read the prompt, choose the best answer before the reveal, then listen for the exam logic behind it. Let's begin. Question 1 of 21. A security analyst working for a large financial corporation has been assigned to conduct a comprehensive penetration test on the corporation's wireless infrastructure. The infrastructure relies on a secured WPA2 PSK-secured network to ensure data protection. During the course of the examination, the analyst discerned a significant vulnerability within the network that could potentially be exploited. Which of the subsequent options most accurately delineates the procedure that the analyst might have employed to pinpoint this particular vulnerability? Option A. The analyst initiated a man-in-the-middle attack, surreptitiously intercepting and modifying the communication between the client and the access point, effectively purloining the pre-shared key. Option B. The analyst conducted a rogue access point attack, cunningly emulating the characteristics of the legitimate access point to deceive clients into unintentionally connecting to a malicious network. Option C. The analyst instigated a deauthentication attack, purposely causing a mass disconnection of all clients from the access point. The analyst then attentively observed the four-way handshake process that occurred during the client's reconnection attempts. Option D. The analyst implemented a jamming attack, deliberately interfering with the wireless network's communication functionality, forcing the access point to inadvertently reveal the pre-shared key. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The analyst initiated a man-in-the-middle attack, surreptitiously intercepting and modifying the communication between the client and the access point, effectively purloining the pre-shared key. The analyst initiated a man-in-the-middle attack, surreptitiously intercepting and modifying the communication between the client and the access point, effectively purloining the pre-shared key.
The answer is option C.
Exam logic. Deauthentication attacks force clients to reconnect, allowing capture of the four-way handshake. Options A, B, and D describe different attacks or incorrect methods. Question 2 of 21. A globally operating bank recently encountered a severe security breach within its Android OS-based mobile banking application. Cybercriminals managed to exploit the bank's mobile device management (MDM) system and successfully carried out a series of remote commands, creating significant havoc. Upon thorough investigation of this incident, it emerged that the attackers might have leveraged the Android Debug Bridge (ADB) as a conduit for unauthorized access. As a certified ethical hacker tasked with developing countermeasures to this issue, which action would you consider the most potent response in this situation? Option A. Promoting the adoption of more robust personal identification methodologies, including but not limited to biometric systems. Option B. Recommending frequent and consistent updates to the MDM system to stay abreast of the most recent security patches and improvements. Option C. Establishing and enforcing a rigorous policy that unequivocally mandates the disabling of ADB, except when absolutely necessary and only within strictly regulated environments. Option D. Instigating the configuration of a virtual private network, VPN, to secure all transactions and activities conducted via the mobile banking platform. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now.
The answer is option C.
Exam logic. Disabling ADB is the most potent response because it eliminates the attacker's primary attack vector. Other options, while good security practices, do not directly close this specific access point. Question 3 of 21. A major financial institution is experiencing persistent denial of service, DOS attacks, targeting its online banking services, causing significant disruption to customer transactions and eroding trust in the institution. The security team is under immense pressure to identify and mitigate the sophisticated tactics employed by the attackers to ensure uninterrupted access to banking services. Considering the scenario described, which sophisticated denial of service technique resembling a scenario-based attack poses the greatest challenge for the security team to detect and mitigate effectively, potentially jeopardizing the availability of online banking services? Option A. a zero-day exploit targeting the institution's web server software, causing buffer overflow and service unavailability through remote code execution. Option B, a coordinated UDP flood attack, exploiting vulnerabilities in the institution's DNS infrastructure, flooding authoritative DNS servers to disrupt domain resolution services. Option C, a distributed SQL injection attack, targeting the institution's online banking database servers, causing resource exhaustion and database downtime. Option D, a synchronized Layer 3 Smurf attack, targeting the institution's internet-facing routers, flooding their interfaces with ICMP echo requests to exhaust bandwidth and disrupt network connectivity. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The correct answer is option A, a zero-day exploit targeting the institution's web server software, causing buffer overflow and service unavailability through remote code execution.
The answer is option B.
Exam logic. A coordinated UDP flood against DNS is most challenging because it disrupts fundamental services, and legitimate DNS traffic can mask malicious packets, making detection difficult. Question 4 of 21. The web application security team of a global firm detected a sophisticated injection attack that exploited a flaw in the application's input validation. The attack was carried out using a custom script that used obfuscation and evasion techniques to bypass security measures. To counter such attacks in the future, the security team is considering implementing additional security measures. Which of the following would be the most effective? Option A, implement continuous security code review and penetration testing. Option B, configure security information and event management, SIEM, to monitor user activity in real time. Option C, enforce two-factor authentication, 2FA, for all user-level application access. Option D, deploy a web application firewall, WAF, with built-in evasion detection features. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now.
The answer is option D.
Exam logic. A WAF is the most effective countermeasure because it sits between the application and traffic, providing real-time inspection and filtering to block injection attempts with evasion techniques. Question 5 of 21. A company implements WPA3-Enterprise for its wireless network. An attacker attempts a downgrade attack to force the client to use WPA2. Which WPA3 feature is designed to prevent this? Correct answer. Option A, Transition Disable Element. Option B, Protected Management Frames, PMF. Option C, Simultaneous Authentication of Equals, SAE. Option D, AES GCMP 256. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now.
The answer is option A.
Exam logic. The transition disable element is specifically designed to prevent downgrade attacks, stopping a client from being forced to revert to the less secure WPA2 protocol. Question 6 of 21. During a red team exercise, a certified ethical hacker, CEH, is working on exploiting a potential vulnerability in the target's web server. The CEH has completed the information gathering and footprinting stages and mirrored the website for offline analysis. They have also discovered the server is prone to session hijacking. Which next step is most likely to be part of a successful attack methodology, keeping in mind the requirement to minimize the possibility of detection? Option A, directly apply brute force attack to crack the server's password. Option B, attempt SQL injection to extract database information. Option C, hijack a session and immediately modify server configuration files. Option D, perform vulnerability scanning with automated tools to find additional weaknesses. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now.
The answer is option B.
Exam logic. SQL injection is the logical next step after footprinting and identifying a session hijack vulnerability, as it directly exploits the web application and could provide database credentials for a session takeover. Question 7 of 21. During a red team engagement targeting a custom web application, a tester observes that the app takes a numeric ID parameter from the URL and dynamically builds SQL queries. Suspecting SQL injection, the tester sends a crafted HTTP GET request like Shortly after, the application throws database errors, and the team confirms that the users table has been removed from the backend database. Based on this behavior, which SQL injection method was most likely used? Correct answer. Option A. The attacker executed a second malicious query alongside the first. Option B. The attacker triggered errors to extract database information. Option C. The attacker used Boolean logic to infer true-false responses. Option D. The attacker appended a union clause to retrieve additional data. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. And the answer is Option A. The attacker executed a second malicious query alongside the first. The attacker viewed errors to extract database information. Option C. The attacker used Boolean logic to infer true-false responses. Option D. The attacker appended a union clause to retrieve additional data.
The answer is option A. Exam logic. The most likely method is executing a second query, as deleting a table like users requires a separate SQL command appended to the original query, not just error exploitation. Question 8 of 21. As a cybersecurity analyst at a renowned software corporation, you've noticed some peculiar activity. The company's internal network has seen a sudden increase in redundant network traffic and system crashes. Initial scans have found that most affected systems run a particular version of the operating system, and the identified malicious code seems to be self-replicating and spreading across the network autonomously. Considering the following malware types, which would you identify as the probable cause of this anomalous behavior? Furthermore, how would you prioritize your response to counteract this malware threat and alleviate the system disruptions? Option A. Ransomware. Advise users to disconnect their systems from the network, back up vital data, and utilize a reputable decryption tool to regain access. Option B. Rootkit. Recommend a system reboot in safe mode, followed by the deployment of an advanced rootkit scanner and subsequent patching of the systems. Option C. Worm. Quarantine the affected systems, perform an immediate network-wide sweep with the latest antivirus definitions, and update the operating system on all network systems. Option D. Trojan. Initiate a thorough network scan with updated anti-malware tools, isolate the affected systems, and patch all the systems with the latest updates. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The correct answer is option C. Worm. Quarantine the affected systems, perform an immediate network-wide sweep with the latest antivirus definitions, and update the operating system on all network systems. Option D. Trojan. Initiate a thorough network scan with updated anti-malware tools, isolate the affected systems, and patch all the systems with the latest updates. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option C. Exam logic. A worm is the probable cause because it self-replicates and spreads autonomously over the network, which matches the described behavior of increased traffic and system crashes. Question 9 of 21. You are conducting a vulnerability assessment in a segmented internal network. When scanning a set of IPs using the NBT scan tool, you discover multiple devices responding with NetBIOS names, but only one of them has the /1B entry in its response. What does this indicate about that specific host? Option A, it has disabled NetBIOS over TCP/IP, resulting in limited response. Option B, it is the local system from which the scan is being run. Option C, it is the domain master browser or primary domain controller, PDC. Option D, it is a rogue DHCP server impersonating a legitimate host. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option C. Exam logic. This is a strong question for legacy network enumeration, testing knowledge of NetBIOS roles. The /1B entry is a classic exam cue for identifying the PDC or domain master browser. Question 10 of 21. A large chemical plant uses operational technology, OT, networks to control its industrial processes. Recently, security personnel noticed abnormal behavior from critical programmable logic controllers, PLCs, suspecting a stealthy compromise via malicious firmware. Which action should the team take first to effectively verify and neutralize this issue? Option A, immediately isolate suspicious devices within separate network segments. Option B, implement enhanced intrusion detection rules to flag unusual traffic patterns. Option C, restrict remote administrative access to essential industrial equipment. Option D, perform detailed inspections of device software for hidden, unauthorized modifications. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option D. Exam logic. This question accurately tests OT security incident response, focusing on verifying firmware compromise. The correct answer prioritizes verification before containment, a crucial exam principle. Question 11 of 21. During a penetration test on a legacy Windows network, you use the nbtstat/a IP command on a target system and retrieve several NetBIOS names, including entries ending with 20 and 03. However, attempts to list shared folders fail. Which of the following best explains this behavior? Option A. The nbtstat utility cannot enumerate shares from NetBIOS names. Option B. The target system's NetBIOS service is bound to a non-standard port. Option C. File and printer sharing is disabled on the target system. Option D. The host is not part of any Active Directory domain. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option C. Exam logic. This is a solid question for legacy Windows network assessment, testing understanding of NetBIOS service dependencies. The failure to enumerate shares is a key cue that file sharing is disabled. Question 12 of 21. You are a cybersecurity consultant at a large healthcare organization. As part of your responsibilities, you are tasked with making sure the company's systems are secure from various attacks. Recently, you've noticed some unusual traffic patterns that suggest someone might be trying to evade the company's intrusion detection system, IDS. Which of the following techniques would most likely be used by an attacker in an attempt to evade detection by the IDS? Option A. The attacker repeatedly pings the IDS to overwhelm it with traffic and cause a denial of service. Option B. The attacker splits malicious data packets into smaller segments to avoid detection. Option C. The attacker sends phishing emails to employees, hoping to trick them into revealing their login credentials. Option D. The attacker uses advanced malware that can self-replicate and spread throughout the network. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option B. Exam logic. This effectively tests IDS evasion techniques, a core intrusion detection skill. Packet fragmentation is a classic method to bypass signature-based detection systems. Question 13 of 21. In a recent penetration testing assignment, you were able to breach a server's web service and install a backdoor. Your aim is to maintain access for as long as possible without getting detected. Considering the web server countermeasures explained earlier, which of the following actions would make your backdoor most likely to remain undetected? Correct answer. Option A. Install the backdoor on a non-web file referenced in a URL. Option B. Increasing the size of the backdoor's code to avoid signature-based detection. Option C. Embedding the backdoor in a regularly updated web file. Option D. Placing the backdoor in a file type that is typically excluded from resource maps. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option A. Exam logic. Placing the backdoor on a non-web file avoids typical web monitoring tools, increasing stealth. Option C is a trap because updating the file would likely expose the backdoor. Question 14 of 21. Your role as a network administrator in a mid-sized company involves protecting the company's web servers from potential security threats. Recently, your company's web server experienced a distributed denial of service, DDoS attack. In explaining the situation to your team, you mentioned the attack specifically targeted the web server's application layer. Which type of DDoS attack was most likely used against your company's web server? Option A, ICMP flood attack. Option B, HTTP flood attack. Option C, SYN flood attack. Option D, UDP flood attack. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and keep learning with us. The answer is option B. Exam logic. HTTP floods target the application layer by overwhelming the server with requests. Options A, C, and D are network/transport layer attacks, not application layer. Question 15 of 21. A tester evaluates a login form that constructs SQL queries using unsanitized user input. By submitting OR1 = 1, period, dash dash, the tester gains unauthorized access to the application. What type of SQL injection has occurred? Option A, error-based SQL injection. Option B, union-based SQL injection. Option C, time-based blind SQL injection. Option D, tautology-based SQL injection. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The correct answer is option D, tautology-based SQL injection. This type of SQL injection is referred to as a tautology-based SQL injection because the supplied input is creating a condition that is always true, such as OR1 = 1, period. The answer is option D. Exam logic. Tautology-based SQL injection works because the injected condition 1 = 1 is always true, bypassing authentication. Option B is a trap because it involves union queries. Question 16 of 21. A red team operator is assessing the resilience of a corporate network's authentication infrastructure. They input valid usernames with specifically structured guesses based on prior intel about naming conventions, such as birth dates or favorite sports teams. The guesses are tailored and automated with logic-based iterations. Which technique best describes this targeted approach? Option A, watching users type their keys in public places. Option B, strategic pattern-based input using known logic. Option C, exhaustive character testing without context. Option D, combining fragments from two lists without rules. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option B. Exam logic. Strategic pattern-based input uses logic-based guesses like birth dates or sports teams. Option D is a trap because it lacks the strategic element. Question 17 of 21. A cloud provider faced a situation where one customer's malicious activity affected the organization's reputation and service delivery. Which security control would have most effectively prevented this issue? Option A, implementing secure log management. Option B, assessing multi-tenant isolation techniques. Option C, using strong encryption algorithms. Option D, enforcing robust authentication methods. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option B. Exam logic. Multi-tenant isolation prevents one customer's malicious activity from affecting others. Option A is a trap because logging doesn't stop cross-tenant issues. Question 18 of 21. A multinational corporation relies heavily on remote access for its employees to connect to internal systems and resources. Recently, there have been reports of unauthorized access to sensitive company data, leading to concerns about potential session hijacking attacks. The security team is tasked with identifying the specific techniques used by attackers and implementing measures to enhance session security. Considering the scenario described, Which advanced session hijacking technique, resembling a scenario-based attack, poses the greatest challenge for the security team to detect and mitigate effectively, potentially compromising the confidentiality of corporate data? Option A, cookie poisoning attack, manipulating session cookies to impersonate authorized users. Option B, session sidejacking, intercepting unencrypted session tokens over public Wi-Fi networks. Option C, brute force session guessing, exploiting weak session ID generation algorithms. Option D, ARP spoofing attack, redirecting traffic to capture session data on local networks. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now.
The answer is option B. Exam logic. Session sidejacking exploits unencrypted tokens on public networks. This is highly effective and hard to detect without proper encryption protocols. Question 19 of 21. A multinational corporation recently survived a severe distributed denial of service, DDoS attack, which caused significant downtime and resulted in substantial financial losses. After implementing enhanced security measures, the company contracted you as a cybersecurity consultant to assess their new infrastructure. During the audit, you discovered that the organization uses both hardware and cloud-based solutions to distribute incoming traffic. The primary purpose of these solutions is to absorb and mitigate the effects of a DDoS attack, ensuring that legitimate requests are not affected during such an event. What type of DDoS mitigation strategy is the company utilizing? Option A, black hole routing. This approach directs all traffic into a non-existent interface, the black hole, which wouldn't distribute traffic but would drop it, making it inconsistent with the company's strategy. Option B, sinkholing. This technique reroutes traffic to a sinkhole, a designated IP address where traffic can be analyzed. However, this doesn't align with the company's strategy of distributing incoming traffic. Option C, load balancing. This approach distributes network or application traffic across many resources to optimize resource use, minimize latency, and maximize throughput. This is consistent with the company's strategy of distributing incoming traffic. Option D, rate limiting. This technique controls the traffic rate using bandwidth management. It doesn't distribute the traffic, but rather restricts it, making it inconsistent with the company's strategy. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and. The correct answer is option C, load balancing. John Hollistate all-in sentence before the reveal. Commit to it now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and. The correct answer is option C, load balancing. The answer is option C. Exam logic. Load balancing distributes traffic across servers, which absorbs and mitigates DDoS attacks. Black hole routing drops all traffic, which is not the described strategy. Question 20 of 21. You are a cybersecurity analyst at a tech startup that provides cloud-based services to its clients. Recently, your team detected suspicious activity on one of your critical servers. After further investigation, you discovered an unauthorized user gained escalated privileges and is attempting to perform malicious actions. Your task is to thwart the attack and secure the system from future exploits. Considering the potential consequences and complex nature of the situation, which of the following actions would you take first to immediately contain the threat without causing significant disruption to your services? Option A, initiate a comprehensive vulnerability scan on all servers to detect any possible exploits that the attacker might use. Option B, power down the affected server immediately to stop all ongoing malicious activities, then isolate it from the network for further analysis. Option C, analyze and document the activities of the unauthorized user in real time, then use this data to implement immediate countermeasures and isolate the affected server from the network. Option D, engage with a digital forensics team to collect all necessary evidence for legal proceedings. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option C. Exam logic. Analyzing and documenting attacker activities first ensures informed containment. This prioritizes live threat response over scanning or forensics, avoiding disruption. Question 21 of 21. You are a security analyst for a medium-sized e-commerce company.
Recently, the company has been suffering from repeated incidents of session hijacking. To prevent future incidents, you've been asked to suggest a robust strategy to mitigate this risk. Which of the following approaches would you recommend? Option A, implement a new physical security policy to prevent unauthorized access to the company's data centers. Option B, apply an IPsec VPN solution that encrypts the entire IP packet, thereby making session hijacking attempts more difficult. Option C, deploy a network-based intrusion prevention system, IPS, to detect and prevent session hijacking attempts in real time. Option D, implement a security awareness program to educate employees on the risks and signs of session hijacking. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now.
The answer is option B. Exam logic. IPsec VPN is the correct answer, as it encrypts the entire session, making hijacking much harder. While IPS and awareness are good practices, they don't prevent the attack at the transport layer like encryption does.